Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Fantasy Football Outpost. My name is Dallas. We're kind of doing a marathon of these streams tonight. This is the third one, going to be the final one for tonight. This is typically when we record our podcast. But for those of you watching the replay, this is our positional mock drafts where we draft in a 8-team, 10-team, and 12-team format from each single position you guys can take from to try and give you guys all the tools you need from every single situation you could be in. And so basically what we do is we do an 8-team draft, mock draft through 12 rounds for the first for the 8-team. Then we do the same thing from the 6th spot on the 10-team and same at the 12 for each draft spot. Obviously, it's only 2 drafts once you get past 8, only 1 draft once you get past 10. But nonetheless, we are going to go ahead. The roster builds, this is based on PPR. This is 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 1 flex, kicker, and defense. You will not see us take a kicker or defense because you can stream both of those. Kickers are virtually completely irrelevant at this point. But they're still there. They're part of it. But that being said, we will not be drafting either. You could ignore that. But it does add a realism factor to the fact that stuff like the Bears go on like round 10 and stuff like that with random picks. And so some guys may fall to you because of that one, and so it keeps things realistic even though we won't be taking either of those. That's why I still have that as the roster build. So let's go ahead and get this started and begin draft. A lot of people think this is one of the harder places to draft from. Not in an 8-team. It's obviously easy in an 8-team. They're all great. This is exactly... Okay, that's a bit odd. I genuinely thought David Johnson would go before this. If he didn't, that's fine. Absolutely taking David Johnson here. If not, I was going to take Devontae Adams. But David Johnson was there. We take that. Elliott, if he's here, take Elliott everywhere you can. Absolutely. But with Elliott being gone, it's just too risky for me to take him in the first round. I just can't see myself doing it with all the talent that's still out there. Now here is where things get a little interesting. For me, it's an easy pick, but give a little bit of a backstory on why I say this. A lot of people would say Julio Jones here. Absolutely understand it. But the way I order my wide receivers, DeAndre Hopkins is my 1, Devontae Adams is my 2. Tyreek Hill, and this is based on how I think they will finish the season points-wise in PPR. I think Tyreek Hill is going to finish 3rd. But because he's so wishy-washy and gives you such a roller coaster ride, I say go Juju because he's my number 4. Followed by Julio, then Michael Thomas, and then Odell. And again, however you view those guys, if you don't view it that way, take Julio here, absolutely. I take Juju 3rd, even though I think Tyreek Hill will finish 3rd. I take Juju before him, but I take Tyreek Hill 4th. So I'm absolutely taking Juju. Perfectly happy with that as my wide receiver 1. I feel like he's going to finish the year as the wide receiver 4, but he's got potential to be the 1. I'm super excited about Juju this year. Very easy. Cannot believe it. This just blows my mind how far he's falling. Give me Joe Mixon every day of the week this late. That's just boggles my mind. He's my running back 7. I absolutely would take him here. That's just too easy for me. And now let's look at this. Is my running back 8 is hitting here too. I'm getting 3 in the first 4 rounds. I'm getting 3 of my top 10 running backs right here because of the way ADPs have treated them and they've fallen. Give me that every day of the week. This is just so far it's been the easiest draft I've ever made. Don't tempt me and make me take a 4th when I can't do it. Okay, good. I'd say Josh Jacobs coming here would be too much temptation, but I need to pass on it anyway. All right, so right here, this next tier of guys, we got Julian Edelman, Robert Woods, Chris Godwin. Brandon Cooks go already? Yes, he did. Of this group, I like Julian Edelman the best, but if he wasn't there, I absolutely say Robert Woods. But we're taking Julian Edelman here. Love that pick, especially as our 2. Even with Josh Gordon back, I love that. And even better, let me go back up here. Because, well, no, Marlon Mack's still there, isn't he? Did he go? Yeah, okay, good. Usually he's been going after Chris Carson here lately. Even better, we got to take both of them. We'll absolutely take Robert Woods here too. So this team is ridiculous right now. Our running backs, David Johnson, Joe Mixon, Damian Williams. My running back 5, 7, and 8. That's ridiculous. Juju's my wide receiver 4, followed by Edelman and Robert Woods. I have them both are in that tier, at the top of the tier actually, because Julian Edelman, and then after that Amari Cooper and Thielen. And then Robert Woods. I know you guys are like, Julian Edelman over Thielen. I don't see it in him. If he keeps doing good in the offseason, absolutely take that shot. But right now his ADP is too high for how inconsistent he was last year. Fell off a cliff after halfway through the season. Before that, he was great. If he can maintain that, sign me up all day. I would take Adam Thielen everywhere I could get him at that ADP if he gives you what he gave you in the first half of last year. Problem is that was the first half. He didn't end the year with that. He ended the year with absolutely horrible numbers, and he's not worth the shot for me. So I put him and Amari Cooper in the same boat as Risk, and I like Julian Edelman better than Amari Cooper, so naturally that'd be Thielen as well. And ADP's that high. If you guys like them, take them, but if not, I'm perfectly okay with sitting and waiting on these guys. So now we're seeing here what we got on the board. Here's where I like to target a running back to kind of solidify things. Typically, I would go Sonny Michel, but he went. So now you got the choice between Tevin Coleman and Miles Sanders. And because of that, if things keep proceeding the way they are, Miles Sanders I have above Tevin Coleman. As of right now, if I had to pick right now, today, I'm taking Tevin Coleman just because we still aren't fully sure on Sanders. The way things are trending, it looks, and with where they drafted, it looks no doubt he's going to take that spot. And because of that, with him being the slate, I think we can get him on the turn here in a second. We're going to go ahead and take the tight end we like. Evan Ingram's the last one. We're going to see what falls to us here. Great. We still got to choose out of both of them. Easy pick here. Either one of them, Tevin Coleman or Miles Sanders. Taking Miles Sanders for that depth. I absolutely love this team right now. The reason I said Evan Ingram and O.J. Howard are my tail end last two. I can't believe O.J. Howard fell this far. Our last two guys that I would take at the tight end position. I'm not a Hunter Henry fan. If you are, then by all means, take that shot. I am not. And so now we're going to look and see what we have here. Here's where I would look wide receiver, but Robbie Anderson's gone, and he would have been the one right here because I have a toss-up between him and Curtis Samuel. If I can take them both, great. Typically, the next best running back would be Latavius Murray, but in this case, Austin Eckler actually fell into our laps, and that's what we're going to take. We're going to take that upside with knowing Melvin Gordon's out. Even if Melvin Gordon comes back, Austin Eckler does still have some standalone value, so he's not quite as risky. So we're going to take him here. Easy pick for us. Go ahead and take that, and on the turnaround, go ahead and get us our Curtis Samuel. I want him everywhere I can get him. Give me Curtis Samuel. Let's let it go on through. This team right now is great. I'm really liking how this is going. So we always target our quarterback late, the one we always try to get. Looks like we're going to be able to wait and take him with our last pick, and that's Cam Newton. Absolutely love him this year. He's going to be insane. Here we can add us another. We could go two ways. You can add another depth piece. Sorry, a drink. Like I said, you guys may be watching this as a replay. This is my third one straight that I've done tonight. So losing my voice a little bit, but we're good. I usually stream on my gaming channel every night, so I'm used to doing this. David Johnson, Joe Mixon, Damian Williams. That's 5 running backs right here. 1, 2, 3, 4 wide receivers, but the argument is running back talent does fall off a lot faster than wide receiver. So we're going to go ahead and take, instead of the D.D. Westbrook or Larry Fitzgerald, I love them both. I'm going to take Kalen Ballage here because of his upside. Taking basically the starting job, already worked his way up to 50-50 splits with him. And then on top of that, basically taking that starting job because Kenyon Drake is gone anyway because he's hurt. We don't know when he's going to come back or if he's going to re-injure himself. I think Kalen Ballage is a great value here because he could potentially be even better. I see a team that I could trade anything and everything all over the place right now. But I'm going to go ahead and lock down our quarterback right there. We're set. Let's go up here. Pause the draft because, like I said, I only do 12 rounds. Kind of help you guys get your team started. And then at this point on, you're talking favorites at that point. Guys you have faith in, guys you think are good sleepers. Somebody coming up, if I could get him, would be Marvin Jones. I love that pick as well if he falls to us. But we're stopping in round 12 because otherwise these would take way too long doing 3 different mock drafts in the same stream. Go ahead and look at our team. So again, Cam Newton's the quarterback I'm targeting everywhere I can get him. I absolutely love Cam Newton this year. I have him as my QB6, especially if he's healthy, obviously. I don't have him there if he's not. But QB6 this year, and you can get him at like the QB9. And so take him in every draft I can get him because he's so late. You get all that value by waiting. If we went as early as, we'll just say this group of guys right here that went off. Did Carson Wentz go off as the second quarterback? Oh my gosh. But let's say you took him here. The value that we got, Evan Ingram, Miles Sanders, Austin Eckler, Curtis Samuel, Kalen Ballage before we took Cam Newton. We could have missed out on any one of those guys by taking a quarterback. I love adding that depth. Running back, this is ridiculous. The most ridiculous running back stack I've been able to get in any mock draft so far. David Johnson, my running back 5. Joe Mixon, my running back 7. Damian Williams in the 4th round as my running back 8. His ADP is falling. Buy it, buy it, buy it. I love Damian Williams. I think he's going to kill it this year. He had like him and Patrick Mahomes didn't sync up on like the 3 passes that Patrick Mahomes threw. He missed on one of them, and now his ADP is falling so much right now because Darwin Thompson is rising, and he just jumped above. Let me see if you can see that on the website portion of it. Maybe not. Maybe if I click up here, we'll be able to go this route. Okay, maybe not. Okay, I don't know why it's not letting me click, but either way, he just jumped above Carlos Hyde on the depth chart. Everybody seems to think he's going to keep working his way up. I think he's going to be a solid reliever. Could potentially come in every now and then. Damian Williams is still that guy, and they have said that. Andy Reid does not do a committee. There's a bit of a quote that got a little bit stirred with that whole situation. I don't see that. I still love Damian Williams. He's my running back 8. He's going to kill it this year. And getting that in the 4th round behind David Johnson and Joe Mixon, that's just ridiculous. Your running back 3 could potentially be somebody's running back 1. Let's look and see if that'd be anybody's running back 1. This guy right here who took Josh Jacobs right there, your running back 3 is his 1. Nick Chubb, in my opinion, your running back 3 is his 1. Ezekiel Elliott, if he misses. Leonard Fournette, your running back 3 is his 1. James Conner, in my opinion, your running back 3 is his 1, but he took Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell is my RB6, so that's technically his 1 in my eyes, but he'd be your 2 there. I usually shoot to have my running back 3 be someone else's, at least one of the teams good enough to be their running back 2. Then it validates it for me, but the fact that he's as good as somebody running back 1, that's just ridiculous. Juju Smith-Schuster, like I said, I can't rave enough about him. My wide receiver 4, getting him in the 2nd round, I love it. Having him as my wide receiver 1, take that every day of the week. Julian Edelman, top tier in that group for me. Absolutely love getting him. I like that he's slipping because Josh Gordon's back. We don't even know how that situation is going to pan out, and even if it does pan out, only thing I see that taken away is maybe a touchdown here or there for Julian Edelman. That's not why I get him. I get him for his PPR upside. In standard leagues, yeah, that hits Julian Edelman pretty hard. But in PPR, I don't think it hurts him really at all. Evan Ingram, my 4th favorite tight end, getting him as late as we did, perfectly okay with that. Having Robert Woods on my bench is ridiculous. That's just fantastic. And if Julian Edelman starts to slip, Robert Woods is right there. Miles Sanders and Austin Eckler on my bench. Curtis Samuel is one of my favorite breakouts. Kalen Ballage, same boat. This team is stacked through the roof. I am perfectly okay with our results here. Go ahead and resume in this draft. Great mock draft there. Again, you usually get stacked teams and 8 teams if you know what you're doing. But that is a bit over the top. Sorry about the dogs right now. They are going nuts outside. Trying to stop talking because as I talk, they pick it up. So we'll give them a little bit, see if they settle down while we set up this draft. Sounds like they're stopping, but sorry about that. Dogs are going nuts outside. Alright, here we go. Round 6. Or pick 6, 10 teams, same boat. We're gonna go ahead and begin this. Okay, so this is what I was hoping was happening. We've got everybody going before that we thought would go. Elliott's here. I'm absolutely taking it if he's back, but he's not. I'm not taking that risk. Taking Devontae Adams here. He's my wide receiver 2 behind Hopkins. That's how I picture things going. Not Barkley at the 4th, but still, that's how I picture things going. David Johnson going 5th, Hopkins going 4th, and you're stuck in this position. Now here, where things get a little bit tricky, a little bit risky, and this is where they helped me out a bunch because of that's my wide receiver 4, but I take him 3rd. That's my wide receiver 3. I take him there. My other ones already went. I'm going to go ahead. This is my wide receiver 7. I value my running backs more. My running back 7, I'm taking Joe Mixon here, solidifying that running back position. If things go the way they have been, we might get Damian Williams in the 3rd, and that would be an insane stack right there. Let's see. Nope, there he goes. It's okay because we get carry on. That's a great stack there. Absolutely love it. Who knows? We may get lucky and have Josh Jacobs follow us here. I doubt it, but maybe. Oh my gosh, he did. So that's what I said. Sign me up every day of the week. That stack right there is ridiculous. It's a monstrosity of a stack. Thinking, why didn't you take a wide receiver? Well, that's because you can wait. These next tiers are almost always there for you. We'll see. Literally almost gone. There's only one left. Well, technically two. If you go down to Tyler Boyd, I don't value him quite as much as these other guys. Chris Godwin, there's a little bit of a tier break between him and Tyler Lockett, but I'm absolutely fine with Tyler Lockett here. And then just solidify it with your next pick, and you're fine. So let's see what comes to us. It may end up being Tyler Boyd anyway. I think it might be. It was. The only way I wouldn't take this is if somehow, if somehow like a Marlon Mack or somebody slipped, but he's going way earlier now, which is good. That's where he should be going. I don't know why he's slipping like that. Or Chris Carson. Neither one of them are there. I do like Miles Sanders a bunch, but here's where we're going to solidify our wide receivers by taking Tyler Boyd here. And this team right here, so much depth. I'm already happy with it. Again, same boat. Josh Jacobs is a lot of people's running back too. You start him as your flex. You're looking great. So here we're in round 7. This is where I would take O.J. Howard or Evan Ingram. If they're there, they both went, and it's okay. Now we look and see what we have on the board. This is where I've been doing it in a bunch of drafts. We're going to solidify those wide receivers even more. I don't know why he's slipping this far, but I'm taking Alshon here anytime I can get him because he's typically a round 3 at the latest, maybe round 4 in past. I get a little bit of regression. I don't understand why he's falling this far, though. Give me that every day of the week. Slapping Curtis Samuel on here, too. That breakout. Now, for what looked like we were going to struggle at wide receiver because our wide receiver 2 is Lockett, every single one of these guys could be a wide receiver 2, and you get all of them coming off your bench, you're golden here. So here in the in a 10-man, I can usually wait one more round for Cam Newton. We're going to take that shot and see. If we don't get him, it's okay because I can show you what we do to react to that if we need to. So here's where we're going to take Kalen Ballage, one of the last solid opportunity running backs I think that there are. See if we get Cam Newton here. Hopefully, maybe not, but we'll see. And we did. Cam Newton's exactly who I wanted here. It's working out great. Another great mock draft all around. I'm loving the way these are going, and doing this stuff over and over and over again makes me more and more confident when I go to do my drafts this weekend because if I'm trying to get all these done, you shouldn't be doing them earlier than this weekend. If your team did and you missed out on these tip videos, then I'm sorry, but your league really should be waiting until after the 3rd preseason games or at least during them so you can see a little bit more maybe that night. See a little bit more. I prefer the Sunday. Not everybody's Sundays are open, so I get it. But Sunday afternoon, this upcoming Sunday after the 3rd preseason week, most of the games I went through, if not all of them, you can get any of the takes that you need to see. And by that point, you should have almost everything locked in. But there's a few, like, for instance, the Miles Sanders, Tevin Coleman toss-up. Right now I'm leaning Tevin Coleman barely. But Miles Sanders, if he does what he did again this weekend and all through practice this week, Miles Sanders is absolutely jumping up, possibly even ahead of Sonny Michel for me. If you're wondering, Sonny Michel is the one I have right before Tevin Coleman. So now here, easy pick. Well, let's hold on. Let's look a little bit because I want to emphasize the fact that we don't have a tight end yet. So you guys might be wondering when I plan on doing that. Not even close to yet. And so the easy pick for me here is the upside with Marvin Jones. I think he's going to finish the same as Kenny Golladay. I've not really gotten to talk about that in too many of these. I think he's going to finish the same as Kenny Golladay, somebody who's going, where did he go? Right here in the 6th round. And 5 rounds later, you get somebody I think is going to score the exact same amount as him, if not even more, possibly. And you're getting him this late. I say take that every day of the week because I do really like Devin Singletary. I think he's this year's Nick Chubb. He's going to break out probably towards the end of the season. So, unfortunately, we're probably going to pass on him unless he comes back to us. It's okay because I like Breida and I like Peterson. So, that makes me feel a little bit more comfortable reaching and taking this Marvin Jones here. Well, not reaching. That's where he's projected. But, yeah, see, there goes Devin Singletary. See if we can get Breida. If not, we get Peterson. But we did get Breida. That's perfectly great. I do like Deshaun Jackson as well, but we have Jeffrey. So, we don't really need that. But you got Matt Breida here. Absolutely great pick. I'm perfectly okay with taking this here. You could argue Austin Hooper last round if you like Austin Hooper. I think he's too wishy-washy. I think you're going to get the same value out of the I'm going to explain to you guys how I handled the tight end situation when I miss out on Evan Ingram or O.J. Howard because I don't reach on the earlier guys. They just go too early for me. I'm not interested in that. except Travis Kelce. He's the only one I really like, but there's just too much value there. Joe Mixon would have to be gone. Damian Williams have to be gone. It just doesn't look like that's the case, so I won't be getting Travis Kelce in any draft. But that being said, if he somehow fell, by all means, I'll take it. But here's where we're going to go ahead and take Matt Breida. For the upside, typically I would stop right here in round 12, but just kind of explain to you guys a little bit better. I've not really been able to explain it in the 10 team yet. I've been able to do it multiple times in the 12. I'm going to kind of see how this goes here. So it looks like in this next set, we've got TJ Hawkinson, not interested. Both of our next picks, we don't have to worry about it. Now, the pick after that is when we start to get into it. Yeah, in 10 teams, you can wait all day long. So right down here, Jordan Reed, and then you go down a little bit further, Mark Andrews, Greg Olsen, and our last one being Kyle Rudolph right here. That's like round 16 when they're projecting them. So my 15th pick is going to be my tight end. Probably turn around and double stack at 15, 16. Of that list, it goes Greg Olsen 1 for me, Mark Andrews as my second favorite, Kyle Rudolph as my third, and Jordan Reed as my fourth. And I think you're good with any of them. I try to take 2 of them late and just stack it. I'm perfectly okay with that, and that's what I do if I miss out on it. Those are the 4 I target. I could throw in Trey Burton if everything's good there, but he'd probably be at the tail end of that, maybe ahead of Jordan Reed if he's fully good to go. But I actually have not even been paying too much attention to him. Offseason, unclear if he'll play in the home opener. Yeah, so it's something to keep an eye on. Jordan Reed is actually healthy right now, so you have that to look at. But that's basically how I'd handle it. We'd go through, but we're ending it right here. Go ahead and look at our team. Yes, we don't have a tight end. Imagine one of those 4 there at a later pick. That's why we don't have it. Right off the bat, looking at our team, I love getting Cam Newton as late as he is. It's great value. You're going to see him taken in almost every single one of these mock drafts because of that. But if not him, Jared Goff, then Jameis Winston, then Phillip Rivers, then Dak Prescott. Any of those, I'm fine with it. Joe Mixon and Kerryon Johnson and Josh Jacobs as our running back stack. I was going to take Josh Jacobs if Kerryon wasn't there. Wasn't forced to, and he fell to us in the next round. Again, I always try to get that flex being a running back that could be a RB2 for someone else's team. I think it's one of the best strategies you can take. It's not a guaranteed championship by no means, but it is the closest thing to a sure lock to a playoff spot because it usually carries you throughout the league, throughout the weeks. So right here, big mistake. Not really big mistake. I won't say that because of how our second wide receivers lined up. Tyler Lockett and Devontae Adams both have a Week 11 bye. That's okay, though, because Tyler Lockett was drafted as my wide receiver, too, but I made sure my depth was all guys that could potentially take his spot, and that's every single one of these guys right here. So that's okay. We would have been stuck with, if that wasn't the case, it'd be Tyler Lockett and one of these guys, even as on that bye week. But if I'm okay with any of these guys swapping for Tyler Lockett, then I'm okay with either one of them there. Curtis Samuel and Alshon, or Tyler Boyd and Curtis Samuel, or Alshon. You got Marvin down here as well. Every single one of these guys have great opportunity here that I kind of, at the end of the day, could end up the same as Lockett. I just think Lockett's going to be really well. And like I said, there's only something you have to worry about 1 week. And I think based on his tier, I think you're perfectly fine with this. Like I said, Josh Jacobs at the flex, it's insane. So our bench, Tyler Boyd, Alshon Jeffrey, Curtis Samuel, and Marvin Jones for our wide receivers. Nothing but potential all across the board. Alshon Jeffrey isn't even potential. It just is. But the other ones are potential. Kalen Ballage and Matt Breida, great potential there. That's what I look for is opportunity, not so much talent. You got somebody like Kareem Hunt, all the talent in the world, suspended 8 weeks, won't be there. And when he comes back, he's behind Nick Chubb. So you don't always go after talent. You got to go after their opportunity and the situation they're in. I see a world where Breida and Coleman are both relevant on the same team. And Kalen Ballage, things are all pointing to him just taking that job, even when Kenyon Drake comes back. Even if they split, it looks like he's going to be the main guy. The other defenses in the practice are trying to figure out who in the world that is because he's running over top of him. He's absolutely killing it. So I love this team here. Perfectly okay with how everything lined up here. Zoom. And, okay. Go ahead and go back. Do our last one with 12 teams. Start again. Here. Grab settings. 12. Update. Again, if you guys are wondering how I'm doing these, this is the closest thing I can get. I got it on PPR, whatever your team count is. 2-minute picks, not that relevant. You're doing it by yourself. You can pause it, do whatever you need to. Roster settings again, 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, tight end, flex, kicker, defense. I always like adding way more bench than your league has just because it prevents all the people from reaching on kickers and defenses just to fill the roster. You'll see that a lot, even with the computer. So that's like that. That's what I like to do there. Take our 6th spot right there, and hold on just a second. All right, go ahead and begin. All right, see what falls to us here. Mara, Caffrey, Hopkins, Bell. Okay, so in this situation, taking David Johnson. I do have, it goes for me, Saquon, and this is again excluding Elliott. If Elliott's here, Elliott's my number 2 behind Saquon. But we're going to exclude Elliott, so it goes Elliott. For me, it goes Saquon 1, Christian 2, Kamara 3. Those 2 could switch at any time. Hopkins 4, and then David Johnson 5, and then Devontae Adams 6, and then Le'Veon Bell, Le'Veon Bell obviously 7th for me actually. But because of that, we have David Johnson above Adams. We're going to take David Johnson here if he fell to us at the 6th spot. No brainer for me. I absolutely take that anywhere I can get that. Let's go ahead and see. So it looks like Joe Mixon did go off the board. That is okay. Juju Smith-Schuster's gone too. It's okay because our wide receiver 3, the one I would draft 4th, is here for us, and that is Tyreek Hill. Absolutely going to take that opportunity. He's going to get the work. You know he's going to. He's going to get the points. It's just there's going to be those weeks he doesn't. And again, oh man, that one hurt. I thought for sure with how these drafts have been going, I was going to get one of those 2. They both went, and that is okay. As much as I don't like reaching on this because of his ADP, he's went up. If Aaron Jones is healthy, I'm taking him every day of the week here. Freeman's too risky for me at his ADP. I'm not feeling that. I don't like jumping on the bandwagons, but everything's pointing to this team absolutely loving him and him being that guy. I think there's tons of value here. Go ahead and take David Montgomery because I like to lock down my running back position. In my opinion, the most important, even in a PPR. Yeah, that team 5 killed us there. Stacking 3 running backs on us. Right here, unfortunately, Chris Carson went 1 pick before I would have taken him. So that is okay. We're going to go ahead and take, who do we got here? Chris Godwin. It looks like the tail end of that group. Well, I have Stephon Diggs over Chris Godwin, so we're going to take Diggs here. Oh, well, should have taken Godwin. Because of that bye week, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world. It does stink that Sonny Michel went. Here's, like I said, Tevin Coleman, Miles Sanders' decision right here. With how things have been going, I have been leaning Tevin Coleman. Well, not with how things have been going. Originally, I was leaning Tevin Coleman. With how things have been going, I'm starting to lean Miles Sanders. So, if I had to go with my gut, I'm thinking Miles Sanders is going to continue to do what he has been. And if you're drafting this weekend, I think you're going to have that confirmation with this next preseason game, kind of letting you know, yeah, he's going to be that guy leading the role. I think Tevin Coleman eventually is going to be splitting with Breida anyway, or maybe right off from the start. So it's the same situation for both of them. I think Miles Sanders is that guy. I like his potential. We're going to take Miles Sanders here just because of the upside. Solidifying that running back situation. Is there anybody or that would be their running? Yeah, you got a team right here. That's all the validation in the world I need, knowing that Miles Sanders, my running back 3, could be somebody's running back 2. This would be their running back 1. They haven't even drafted one. This would be their running back 2 here, give or take, because of Tevin Coleman. I would take Miles Sanders over Derrick Henry. I don't like Derrick Henry at all in any situation. So I'm putting him there as the 2nd as well. This guy's just stacking them. Josh Jacobs is their 1. Mark Ingram's their 2. He would be their 2 there. Christian McCaffrey would be the 2 there. Kamara would be the 2 there. Fournette, I'd take him over that as well. I'm just not a Fournette. I guess I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on that one. But I feel validated now with Miles Sanders as our RB3. That's what we're going for. That's what we're looking for. So now we're going to lock down that receiver position. And that's an easy pick for me. Like I said in the earlier one, Alshon Jeffrey falling for some reason. Give it to me. I'll take it. Evan Ingram's gone, so I would have taken that there, but he went 2 picks before us. That's okay. See what we get when it comes back around. Again, if you like Vance McDonald, I think he's a great tight end to take. I don't like him at this ADP, so I pass on him anytime I have to make this decision. And looking here, the next best wide receiver, in my opinion, is going to be D.D. Westbrook. I just think he's got so much potential this year. Yes, they share the bye week, but it's okay. Slap them both in there. So, like I said, don't live and die by bye weeks. Yes, you want to obviously keep it in the back of your mind, but don't jeopardize your entire team by trying to play that game where you're like, yes, these two are virtually the same for me. I would have taken Godwin there instead of Diggs because of the bye week alone. That would have been a tiebreaker for me there, but it's hard to pass up on Diggs, the fact that he was still there. I have Diggs on the same boat as Cooks. That's literally exactly where I actually have him going. This is where I would take Diggs, but he usually goes up here, and that's why I usually don't get Diggs. But now we're looking, seeing what comes back to us. Unfortunately, Kalen Balaj went right before us. That would have been our next best running back off the board. But another one of my sleepers, I think he's got a great. Well, actually, this is round 8, and the quarterbacks have been flying that often. We're still going to wait. I like to wait one more round in 12 teams for Cam. I always take him in the 9th. We'll see if we can get him, even though he's right here under us. We'll try and wait and see. I don't think so. We've got 1, 2, 3 teams that don't have a quarterback yet. They're flying off the board early in this one, but that's okay because, like I said, we have other value. We don't reach on quarterbacks. There's no reason for it. We're going to take another one of our sleeper running backs, and that's Royce Freeman. He's got a great opportunity this year to end up taking over. There goes Cam. Taking over that job if Philip Lindsay goes down. Even if Philip Lindsay is there, it looks like he's going to. There went Goff, man. You guys are stealing him from me. That's okay because now I wait another round for Jameis, and that's fine. But I think he's got a great opportunity this year to end up being that guy. Looks like he's already going to take the third down and touchdown rolls, the end zone guy, goal line. Sorry, that was the word I'm looking for. And in my league, we actually get a bonus point for first downs, and so he has increased value there too. Sorry. Nonetheless, all those reasons are why Royce Freeman's one of my sleepers. So now looking on the list, the next best guy on the list for me that I like is definitely going to be, it would be Marquez Valdez-Scantling if I'm going running back, but another, or wide receiver, but another one of my favorite running backs in the draft right here, down here, is Devin Singletary. So we're going to snag that up. Perfectly okay with taking that here. Another one of my sleepers. I think he's the Nick Chubb this year, like I said earlier. I think I said it earlier. If I didn't, it was in a different episode. I've said it many times. I think he's going to be one of those guys that takes over halfway through the season because they're eventually either going to trade LaShawn McCoy or realize this kid's got it and start him anyway, and you're good. Now that it made it back to us, we're taking Jameis Winston as our quarterback. Perfectly okay with that, and that's how you handle that situation. We projected for Cam Newton to fall to us in the 9th, but we didn't even get our next guy in the 9th, Jared Goff. And so you got to have your backup plans ready to go. My backup plan is Jameis. If he wasn't there, we wait again another round for Phillip Rivers here. If we don't get him, we wait another round, and we go down here and take Dak Prescott. And like I said, you keep going. You got Josh Allen. Where's he at? He's like so far down the list, it's just insulting. Yeah, down there. So you can wait on these guys. There's no reason to reach. And so now, got our team lined up. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 running backs, and 1, 2, 3, 4 wide receivers. Now look the wide receiver direction here. My next favorite one's right here. We won't get them in the next turnaround, so we're going to go ahead and take Tyrell Williams. Like I said, baby Juju opportunity, lining up on the opposite side of Antonio Brown. He's going to eat like Juju did. Baby Juju opportunity because he's not as talented as Juju, so that's why we go. That's why we say baby Juju opportunity. But here's where I show you guys. Well, that's what I said. You're going to wonder here if earlier, right, where was it at? Right here. Sonny Michel went right before our pick. If I would have taken Sonny Michel here, here's where you lock down Damian Harris as your backup. That being said, with our last pick, we're going to go down here and take Tony Pollard. That is going to be a great pick if Ezekiel doesn't show up. It's worth the shot, honestly, especially if you took Elliott earlier. The reason I say that, typically we stop right here in the 12th round, but I'm showing you how the 13th round works in 12 teams. All 4 of those tight ends that I target that I told you guys about are right here. The first one just went, which is Greg Olsen, who's actually my favorite of the group. Followed by, you have Mark Andrews right here. Go down a little bit, Kyle Rudolph right there, and Jordan Reed right there. All 4 of them go right here almost every single time. Greg Olsen is my first choice. He usually isn't the first one to go either. But he did here. That's fine, so we prepare for it. Next best in line for me is Mark Andrews. We take that. And just an example why I'll go back-to-back half the time with them if they make it back. If not, I just plan on streaming it. Yeah, so Kyle Rudolph didn't make it back. After I would say you take Kyle Rudolph here. He didn't. You could take the shot on Trey Burton. I'll honestly probably just keep Mark Andrews as my only tight end on the roster and just stream wherever I need to. But let's go ahead and end it there because pause it there. That's what I meant. Because we typically only go 12 rounds, but we went 13 to show you where we get that tight end. So right here, Jameis Winston in the 10th round in a 12-team league, great value there. He's my quarterback 9. And he's got great opportunity. My argument with him is everybody loves Mike Evans, everybody loves O.J. Howard, and everybody thinks Chris Godwin's going to be the breakout of the year. How are you guys so high on this, yet still think Jameis Winston isn't going to do anything? That makes no sense. I get it. His interceptions are going to kind of balance that out, but at the same time, it's Bruce Arians there now. They're going to be high-powered. I think he's going to be throwing such significantly more touchdowns that the interceptions, I think, are going to dial back a little bit. I think he's going to become more efficient. They're saying he looks more consistent in the offseason right now already. And I think you're just going to heavily outweigh – the good is going to heavily outweigh the bad to where it makes it worth it, especially that late. And so we're good there. Our running backs, David Johnson, David Montgomery, and Miles Sanders. I love having that stack there. Again, like I said, I was a little iffy on this at first. If him being our – which I say iffy. I'm perfectly okay with him as my flex. But I always try to solidify that by seeing, would this be someone else's running back too? It would have been that case for like 3 different teams, so we're good with that. Tyreek Hill, wide receiver 3 this year, points-wise for me. I think he's going to finish that way. I would take him 4th behind Juju. Juju was not there. We take Tyreek Hill, absolutely, especially because he goes like wide receiver 7th. And so I have him as my wide receiver 3 points-wise. He's going to be a roller coaster ride, but it's okay. Stephon Diggs in the 5th round, I believe it was. That's a great snag. No, 4th round, sorry. That's where all those guys are going. Stephon Diggs usually goes the tail end of the 3rd, beginning of the 4th, and he's not there. I'm perfectly okay with taking him here. In the middle of that, yes, they have the same bye week. That's why you slap both of these guys in. They have the same bye week too, but it's not a problem because you need them on a different bye week. Mark Andrews as our tight end, we took in round 13, 1 round before we actually typically end this. Miles Sanders again at our flex. Great starting lineup right here. This is perfectly fine. Did great with what we had to work with. I think with that depth at running back, every single one of these could have. I mean, David Johnson's going to be great. David Montgomery could end up breaking out. Same with Miles Sanders. I think they're both going to have great years. Along with Josh Jacobs, I think you're looking very, very good. A running back right there with that stack. And then you go down to our bench. Alshon Jeffrey and D.D. Westbrook, I think, are both going to have phenomenal years. Could end up working their way into your flex or your running wide receiver 2 if Diggs doesn't pay out the way you want it to. But I think you're fine on bye weeks with that. Same with Tyrell Williams, his opportunity, like I went through. Devin Singletary and Tony Pollard are both, and Royce Freeman are all very, very high opportunity. I take opportunity over talent. Again, I use that Kareem Hunt example over and over again. He's super talented, probably more talented than Nick Chubb in my opinion, all around, because he can also catch out of the backfield great and he can run it great. I think he's more talented, but obviously he's going to be the second guy there, and he's suspended for 8 weeks. So I don't see it's just not worth it, whereas these guys have the opportunities. I can physically see that they may break out from the start. You don't even know. If Elliott takes forever to come back, Tony Pollard is going to be a great snag, especially with as late as we got him in the 12th round. I love this team right here. So then go up, resume, and draft. That is our positional mock draft, pick number 6. This has been a heck of a marathon tonight. We did pick 4, 5, and 6 tonight. There will not be a podcast episode this week because of all the drafts that are happening this weekend. Tonight is usually when I record all of my record, edit, and upload my podcast episode every week, and it goes live tomorrow morning, being Thursday. It goes live, and you guys see it then before the Thursday night games is kind of the plan with that. But because of me wanting to get all these positional mock drafts out before you guys start drafting this weekend, I went ahead and said we're going to do this instead of an episode. Tomorrow night we're going to do 7, possibly 8 as well. And that'll leave us with Friday being able to bust out 9 and 10, potentially 11 and 12, because those are going to be just one draft apiece. So we'll see how all of that works out. Nonetheless, that is going to be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for tuning in. You've been watching the Fantasy Football Outpost. My name is Dallas, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.